Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today, we have, for the second round of Relationshit, Aycee Brown, psychic channel, spiritual guide and teacher, and voice of truth. Aycee, welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back for me. I'm so excited.
Honestly, our episode about human design changed my life.
Really?
Yes, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it changed my life.
I'm glad it did.
No, it opened up my brain. Literally, I think my brain just like bursted open. And I told you that I heard about you from my therapist. Shout out to Kelly. And when I told her that we had you on, she was like, man, I wish I could listen to it. 'Cause she can't, I guess conflict of interest.
She can't listen to it? Really?
I don't think therapists are allowed to like check your
Probably
social media or
not.
listen to. If she heard this podcast, our sessions would
like,
be much
"Girl."
longer. Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, you didn't tell me that you slashed his tires now.
Exactly.
We said that you were going to block him.
Exactly. So she doesn't need to know, and what she doesn't know won't kill her. So
Yeah.
Today's episode is all about the power of manifestation. And I feel like I'm a very powerful manifestor. I feel like everything that I speak comes to life. I actually have "Speak Life" tattooed on my arm. People are always like, what the fuck is that tattoo?
Love that.
So "Speak Life," it's from the Bible. It comes from the Bible, but I really wanted "manifest everything," but with the text, like the cursive writing that I have, it would have taken up my whole arm. I was like, that's kind of extreme. So I decided to go with "Speak Life" because, in the Bible, they say there's power of life and death in the tongue, and you can speak life into the things that you want, which to me means manifest everything. The Christians and the Baptists listening are screeching
Correct.
right now. They're like, it's not about manifesting.
You crystal bitches.
Get these demonic witches out of here. But to me, it's the same thing. Like, there is power in our words and what we want, what we say that we want, what we say that we don't want. So can you tell us what even is manifesting?
So manifesting, I like to say, is the art of bringing the things into life that your soul has already desired. And so I like to go back to when you were a child. Remember when you were a child and you wanted to be a firefighter, a ballerina, a lawyer, a this or that. I truly feel in my heart that your soul says, okay, here are some options and you get to choose. However, life kind of throws itself in a way and it's like, well, maybe I can't do that. And your soul's like, no, you can actually be a ballerina. That's why we told you that when you were 3.
Yeah.
Like, this is possible. Or you could be a doctor, or you could be a singer, you could be a model, you can be an actress, all of these things, or a teacher. There's some people who are doing things in their life where if you look back, you're like, oh, I always did want to do this, or I had an interest in this. So I feel like the desires of our heart are placed there not to play games with us, but for us to align ourselves with them. However, society, generational things, systematic oppression, there's a lot of things that kind of get in the way.
Bills.
There's bills,
Yes.
the IRS, taxes, all of these things, right? They get in the way, and then you're like, oh man, maybe I can't do that. So you've created this identity that doesn't align anymore. So now you're putting yourself into this position where some of us feel like we're chasing this goal, chasing this purpose. But in actuality, what we need to do is realign with it. Realign to the childlikeness of your heart, to the childlikeness of your soul. And then that will manifest a lot easier. And I like to say, I call it RRTS. And it's a new concept that I came up with based off of writing a book proposal. So yes, it's in there. And it's about ritual, receiving, trusting, and surrendering.
Ooh.
And when we decide what we want, the goal is for us to change our self-concept of who we are to get what we want. It's really that simple. But unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the way.
Right. Well, I'm trying to think, what did you want to be when you were a kid? What was like your dream job?
So my dream, it's so how it's all just come together. My dream job is I wanted to use my voice in front of millions of people and be on stage. I always used to have dreams and visions about that, about me being on stage.
Wow.
And it took some turns, and I was doing a little bit of acting and all of that stuff, and it was just like, something doesn't feel right. And then every time, I swear, every single time, I would find a psychic, somebody who had a vision, like, I just see you on stage. And
Mm.
when I was in Girl Scouts, there was a mother. She was Latin, and she didn't speak a lot of English. She spoke broken English, and her and my mom used to always talk at the Girl Scout meetings, and she used to always point to my throat. And she's
Mm.
like, she's gonna make a lot of money. She's gonna make millions of dollars with her voice. And I wanted to be a singer, and my mom, she was like, no, she can't sing. I couldn't sing. Right, I
Not
wanted to be
mom
a
throwing you
singer.
under the bus.
Yeah,
She
she's
said
like, she
she
wants
can't
to be a
sing.
singer. She can't. And she was like, no, no, no. But her voice, she used to always talk about my voice.
Mm.
And then it comes full circle, but you have to do the work to get there, and that takes healing, that takes shadow work. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I think about what I wanted to be when I grew up, when I was a kid, it was between being a stay at home mom like my mom and being a cash register person at a grocery store. Now, I'm neither one of those things.
However, wait now, let's not go off the beaten path. Because if you
Okay.
think about
Make this a line for me. Make
no,
this a
I
line.
will. If we think about a cash register person, the cash register person interacts with a lot of different personalities, and
True.
they have a lot of discernment about the way people are. You do that now on the show.
You see, AC, that's why I keep you around because you be making things
It's
make
true.
sense. That's so true. And there
It's
are crazy
true.
people at the grocery store.
Correct. And imagine how many people the cash register person encounters. They
Yes.
hear stories, they hear backgrounds, they hear all people crying, people who are crazy, all of these things, all of these emotions just by swiping some groceries. You're doing that. You're interacting with people and their stories.
And if you think about it, see now you got me on it. Now I'm like, wow, it really all makes sense. Like feeding people, giving people good,
Exactly.
giving people something that they need to be able to go about their lives.
Giving
Wow.
something to think about, having that discernment.
Mm.
Imagine talking to 25, 30 people different a day as a cash register. Your discernment about people and their truth is impeccable.
My inner child will be proud of the
See?
person I've become. Because
Exactly.
I was like, my inner child, how am I going to tap back into this? But I guess, wow, okay, yes, I see that. But I also have always been told, throughout my life that my voice, people would always say, like, oh, I loved listening to your voice. Same thing. And then I look at, my life path number and like different things like that. My MC is in Gemini, which is like, that's the
Okay.
thing for people who are communicators,
Yes.
like on a big scale.
Mine is
So,
in Libra, so I'm here to help people solve problems and
see?
see both sides.
And it's like when you really look into it, there are so many ways to make sure that you are living in your truth and your destiny and like what you are meant to do. But you're right, like life gets in the way. How do we avoid that?
We can't. That is literally the I don't even want to say it's the sucky part. We literally, our souls literally chose this. You chose your parents, you chose the situations that happened to you. I like to say when you're up there in the ethers that it's almost, if you've ever worked in retail or in the restaurant industry, you go to the shift board and you're looking to see where your shift is. That's the
Mm,
same thing that happens to your soul. Your soul's like, what's on the menu? What do I want to learn in this lifetime? What didn't I learn last lifetime?
Lord have mercy.
Exactly. And so when you put that into perspective, right? That you chose this, and some people will argue, well, what about the really shitty stuff that
Right.
happens? You can only control your soul, right? So
Mm,
that other person's soul that might have done something to you, that's none of your business. It's a part of the story. But you
mm,
chose to learn the lessons. And thinking about relationships, dating the same person over and over again, just in a different form.
mm.
Learn the lesson. Let's get over it, because it's going to keep repeating itself. There was this article of this lady. She did a bunch of past life regressions, and she literally, her and her boyfriend, they've been together like 10 lifetimes. And
What?
it's like, exactly. And you're still torturing yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Oh.
Right.
Wait, so it wasn't a
So,
happy relationship then?
no, it
Oh.
wasn't from what I believe so. So,
Oh my
with
God.
you choosing this, right? And so you're here to learn lessons. Your lessons that you get are also passed down to you in utero, your birth story, how your mother was treated, what she was going through while she was carrying you. You get some of those wounds there. And so then you go throughout life trying to correct that, trying to heal that. And that's what you're here to learn. And then once you can do that, I think that's when you can open yourself up to actually asking for what you want. We don't test the universe enough. We have to be very definitive. Many of us are looking at other people's lives and saying, "Ooh, I'll take some of that." You don't even you don't even want a baby.
Yeah.
Why are you going to baby showers? What are you doing? Send them a gift. No, I had a client and
I
she's
never thought
like,
about it like that before.
yeah, and I'm just like, do you even want a relationship? And she was like, I don't. I was like, then why are you upset that you don't have one? Go out there and find a young tender and have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're right. She's like, I don't even want a relationship. And so I bring that back to how we can stay in alignment with what we want to manifest is our values. And that's where the ritual kind of part comes in. What are your values? If you can identify your top 3 to 5 values, you can never be wrong in your quest for what you desire. My values are status, luxury, security, spirituality, and innovation. If it doesn't revolve around that, I don't want it.
Okay. The fact that you have those so clear cut, it's like I know what my values are. I know what I value and I know what they are. But I feel like the way that you just described yours shits all over mine. So how do I come up with this values list?
It's not about them shitting on it. It's about what is important to me. What can I stand 10 toes down in? And a lot of people, freedom. I love that's when I hear people say freedom, like, do you really want to be free? Because free is I'm willing to leave everything, give up everything, and be free. I'm not tied to anything. And they're like, oh wait, no, I don't want to be. Freedom is not a value. You can Google a list of values, and I always ask people to really do some research. Words mean things,
Yeah.
and really research what that means. So for me, innovation is a value. That means that I'm always innovating. I'm always open to new ideas, new situations. I'm always looking at what's new in my life around me, new concepts, new ways of thinking. That excites me. Somebody else's value might be honesty.
I was just thinking my value is honesty, but then I was thinking, do I really want honesty?
Exact. See, now you're getting it. And this is not a my value system is not a I'm a good person value system. This is what I can stand by. So if honesty is not, because if I had a choice between some being honest and or loyalty and respect, I want respect. I, Loyalty comes, you pick and choose when you want to be loyal to somebody.
Yeah.
You pick and choose when you want to be honest to somebody. Give
Yeah.
me respect.
And I don't want blind loyalty either. Like that's not what I
Exactly.
want, but respect, absolutely.
Right. So think about those words and look at them and say, what do some people's are creativity. That means that everything you do has to be in a creative process, that you're going to tap into the creative part of yourself. So once you have that value system in place, that way you can create a ritual around that. You can start living your life and aligning with the things that you're trying to receive, the other are. And so for me, luxury is it. So it might not be that I get to drop 10,000 in the Chanel store, not yet, but maybe
It would
it's
be
me
nice.
being able, right, to go.
I'm not going to say no.
Right. I'm not going to say no, but for me, a luxury is for me to be able to go out to restaurants and the whole staff knows my name because I tip well. You see what I'm saying? That excites me. That lights me up. Luxury might look different to you. So once you have your value system, you can create rituals around that. So then when you ask spirit, God, the universe, all right, this is what I want. I'm clear about that. It's yours. It's not anybody else's. So you're not,
Yeah.
a lot of people are picking and choosing manifestations. They're looking on the internet. They're looking at social media like, oh, I want to be a boss babe too. I want this, I want that. And it's just like, do you really want that?
Yeah, let me tell
Do
you
you?
something. I keep saying I don't want to be a bad bitch anymore. But I know I shouldn't manifest that because who knows what could happen to me, God forbid. But it is exhausting. Being a boss bitch is exhausting. Being a bad bitch is exhausting. Being a bitch in general, tiring, time consuming, energy draining. It's a lot. And a lot of times, like, people will look at things that they don't have. You know, sometimes I'll post something about being exhausted from traveling because I'm on a plane 85% of the year, and the radiation, not good for the body. There's a lot that happens when you're traveling. It's exhausting. It's an exhausting process, and sometimes it's traumatizing. And I'll say something and being honest about it and candid about it, and I'll get messages like, you don't know how many of us wish we could travel, and like, I would die to have your life. And I'm like, you really, people, you don't know that.
You sound crazy.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know that.
And also too, looking at, let's say, a business owner, people see a business owner that makes millions of dollars and their whole family works for them. Do you really want that responsibility, your whole goddamn family depending on you to eat?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Your cousin who you know is crazy.
Yes.
That you got to check in on every day.
Job in the warehouse, and you're like, I don't know. That the level of stress that is.
No thanks. No thanks. I love my family, but no thanks.
Right. My mom's a whole accountant, and I wouldn't hire her.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't need her in my pockets. And
no.
Well, you brought yourself one. How come you didn't get me one?
No.
No. That's crazy.
As far as creating your value system, where do we start with that? Because I feel like that is the start of manifesting the things that you want, or even knowing what it is that you're trying to manifest.
Yes. I would say just do a Google search on values, a list of them. You can find tons and tons of lists of words, and then really start pointing out and circling what attracts you, like what lights you up. And then bring that down to 3 to 5. I think 5 is a nice sweet spot, but really investigate, what does this word mean? What is it? How is it used in a sentence? All of that. What does that actually mean for me to, we'll use freedom, that freedom is a value. What does being free actually mean? And then people are like, oh, well, that's not my value. I don't want that. And then once you have those values, you can say, okay, what does that look like in my life now? How would I like to receive based off of these values? What does that mean for me? And then just go through your career, your business, your love life, your family life, your friendships, your day-to-day things. And then you start asking for stuff.
Yes.
And then you say, okay, I know for myself, because I've already assumed and know that Spirit's going to bring it to me, a top agent that is possibly a literary agent and a talent agent. A 6-figure book deal at a major publishing house. I have one that I want.
Yes.
It's happening before the end of the year ends. It's there. And so the next thing I have to do is trust. And trust that, okay, I'm assuming that it's coming. That's all I need to do. Now, the only thing I need to do now is just align with it.
Yes.
And then surrender to the process. I don't need to check on it. I don't need to, ask God, like, are you sure it's going to happen? Are you positive? It's already there.
Yes.
I just need to put that into action, do my job, do my part, and then allow those things to happen.
Yes. Not even a glimmer of doubt. And you know what's crazy? It goes back to what we were talking about in the human design episode about, us being projectors. Shout out to the projectors listening. And, me realizing that everything that I wanted so badly, I never got. And part of it, when I think about those things that I thought that I wanted so badly, I should say, when I think about those things, I think about how there was always a glimmer of doubt in the back of my mind that it was going to happen. And I don't know if it didn't happen because of just poor manifesting or if it genuinely wasn't meant for me. But when I think about the things in my life where I was like, oh, that's mine. Like my mom would always say, as I've grown up, she would always say, speak it as if it were. So and I do it to my friends all the time. People will be like, oh, if I get, and I'll be like, when? Or like, if I da-da-da, I'll be like, when it happens, when you get da-da-da-da. because there is power in our words and the things that we say. But I remember even when I went to go compete for Miss Teen USA, I don't know if you knew that was Miss Teen USA.
I think I did. I think I did.
I'm doing my pageant wave, guys. Even when I went to compete. Now, if any of my girls who were, competing with me are listening, listen. This isn't me being cocky. This is just what I knew to be true.
You knew you were gonna win.
I knew that I was going to win and that I was moving to New York. And because of this, if you did not make the top 5 at Miss Teen USA, there was a specific yellow dress that everyone had to bring to stand behind the top 5 for the pageant. So there's 51 girls. There's a top 5. Oh, no. I went and found the ugliest yellow dress that I could possibly find that was like literally $9 at R&B. Shout out to R&B. The girls who didn't get it.
Oh,
R&B is before a lot of, that's before Danny's time. Danny ain't never heard of R&B.
R&B was the bomb.
R&B was the bomb.
R&B was the bomb.
Oh, they had the best clearance rack. But I found this ugly yellow dress. Didn't even fit. And I said, you know what? I was like, I'm not going to have to wear this. So it doesn't even matter what it looks like because I'm never going to have to wear it. So I might as well get the cheapest, ugliest one I could find. Bought that, brought it, never had to wear it, obviously. Guess what else I brought? My packed bag for the first week that I was going to be spending in New York after I won the pageant because I said, I'm winning. I'm going to go do press. I'm going to have all my press outfits ready. And so when the Miss Universe organization came to my room after my win, I was like, oh, my bag, my luggage for New York is already over here. We're ready. All I got to do is put my toiletries in there. I'm done. Let's go.
We're ready to go.
But there's something to be said about that when you just know.
You have to know like
you have to know. Yes, you have to know like it's happened already.
And I want people with that story and with the things that you're asking for, spirit will break the rules for you. Do not look at how somebody else got it, how they're getting it. If it is yours, the rules will be broken. You won't need the qualifications. You won't need the things that somebody else might have needed. When it's your time, when it's your turn, and when it's up for you, then it's yours. I hear stories all the time like, I wasn't even supposed to get that job. I wasn't even supposed to do this. It has happened to me.
Yeah, there was someone more qualified, more senior that was in line.
All of it. And then, oh no, it's you.
Yeah.
But you have to know like you know, and you also have to change your self-concept of who you are. You have to look at the things that you want and say, would the person that has the thing that I'm asking for, would they be doing X, Y, and Z? Would they be settling for this? Would they be talking to people like this? Would they be interacting with it? Would they be worried about this?
Yes.
And then you have to move like that person.
Yes. Oh, that's so real. That's so real. I've also thought about like, are there things that we should not be manifesting? Like, are there things that we should not put out into the universe other than like the obvious things about like being harmed or something? Like, I feel like you have to be very, you know what? Here's something that I have learned that I don't need to manifest. When I'm exhausted, I have said before that I need eternal rest. And then I'll be like, bitch, what are you talking about?
What?
No, you don't.
Excuse me?
Like, what are you even saying? Or I've said, like, I need whatever kind of sleep. I'm dramatic. I'm a Scorpio. So sometimes I'll just say things.
Eternal rest.
And I'm like, you don't want eternal rest? Eternal rest? And I really have to check myself. And it's happened before. Please. It's happened before where I'm like, you cannot be manifesting shit like that. So what should we not be manifesting?
People, I mean, this is what the show is about. A trifling ass man.
Yes.
Or woman.
Yes.
Listen, anytime, and I did a podcast episode on my podcast about this. Anytime you need to go to a psychic about your relationship, you need to get out of it.
Oh.
Okay? Because what you're not going to do is stress out the rest of us because you don't want to pay attention to the signs.
Yeah, because we find a way to make things work in our minds even after the tarot card reader, the psychic, whoever it is, has told you what you need to know.
Then you mad at me talking
Yeah.
about, well, I don't see that.
Yeah.
Well, oh, you see something because you came here
Right.
with your BS talking about, well, I don't know if that's correct.
Has
What you here for?
someone's been like really mad at you before for that?
Oh my, I had, oh, I never forget this. And she came to me and she was just like, when am I gonna have a boyfriend? When am I gonna be in a relationship? And Spirit was like, she needs to really work on herself.
Oh.
And she was like, I've been working on myself. Why am I single? When am I gonna have a relationship? And I'm just like, you haven't been working on yourself.
Like, ma'am, that's not what the spirit said, okay? I can't help what they say.
Listen, I don't do love readings anymore. I used to, like, when I was a baby psychic, but because people are not ready to hear that information, regardless of where they're at in their relationship, whether it's going good, going bad, or indifferent. And then plus, there's so many factors because you can only control you. So when you're coming to a spiritual person, a psychic, somebody who's doing tarot, you're trying to, check two things. Am I bugging? Is this what I'm feeling at the same rate? Or give me confirmation of what I already know.
Yes.
Many people don't like the what I already know. They want you to give them something else.
Yes.
They want the cards to read something else. They want to say, "Oh, I see you guys getting married.
I see change."
Right.
He's going to stop fucking 5 other bitches a week and he's only going to focus on you.
Right. Like he's going to be so amazing. And then they're like, "Yes." And then when you're like, "Well, you should start doing this or doing that." They're like, "What?" So I don't think that manifesting should be forced, is what I'm saying in the relationship kind of thing. When it's something that's aligned that you can control about your being, then ask for that. The things that I'm asking for, the things that you've asked for, you can control that because you can show up and be the best Miss Teen Universe, answer your questions, pose right, look good. You can put that energy out there. However, if you were trying to, be in enmeshment with someone else that you couldn't control what they're doing or control, even if it's like anything that involves someone else's free will, don't try and force that.
Put the voodoo dolls down, babes.
Yeah, put them down. It's just pointless. You kill it.
Yes.
And I hate to, people like, oh, focus on yourself, but focus on yourself. Mind your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind your business. Worry about the business that pays you and focus on that. Manifest that.
Yes.
Manifest that the right man or woman will be coming into your life and is going to show themselves to you. Not that you have to manipulate and do all of these things, jumping through hoops. You don't want that type of relationship. Why are you trying to manifest that?
Yeah. You shouldn't have to manifest anybody to act right. That's not it.
People do it every day.
I know, because I've done it.
I've done it. I had to stop myself in one relationship. I was doing a lot of ritual work with, candle magic, all of these other things for one person. I was like, what are you doing? This
Girl. My God. Have you heard about the whispering technique?
What is that?
Oh, I don't even want to tell you. I'm embarrassed. I don't even want to tell you.
It sounds. Are you whispering while they're sleeping?
No. So I saw it on TikTok, and it definitely works. I don't recommend that our listeners try it, but if you do, this is what you do. So apparently, you have to envision them in their own space, in their own home, wherever it may be. And their back is facing you. And you come into the room as if you're a ghost. You're supposed to be in like a very sleepy state when you do this. So you go into wherever their space is and you whisper in their ear 3 times the thing that you want them to do. And then you come to the front of them, kiss them on the forehead, and as if you have eyes in the back of your head, exit the room and envision them doing the thing that you asked them to do. And they say that you should expect results within hours. And let me tell you something. The 2 times that I whispered, I got what I came for. I did.
Oh, okay. So, listen, I'm not saying that that's a bad technique, but I would prefer prefer it without the manipulation.
Obviously, AC. Also, I feel like it created some type of shift in the universe, the
Right, it
microcosm.
creates shift
Something happened.
right, it creates shift, number one. And I'm a strong believer in do not take away anybody's choice. That is the most disrespectful, selfish thing that we can do when it becomes another person. Is, and I'm not condemning you for that.
I'm getting a spanking, a verbal spanking.
Right, any
from
of you
Aycee
whispering
Brown.
people, but
It worked, but I didn't feel good about it. I stopped doing it.
right,
I cut it out of my life. Because I think it might have opened the same portal that was open when we were standing the brooms up for before COVID happened. I think it caused the heat wave that we're having right now.
it probably did. Because it shifts the energy.
Yeah.
It does. It shifts the energy. So don't just take the manipulation out of it.
Yeah.
But you can send them love and light, not love and light. Fuck that. You can send them, some. You can say some nice words. Be like, I'm thinking about you. Pick up your phone and call me. If
That's
you
what I
want
did.
to.
I just said, text me. And I got my text.
Okay, that's fine. But not this whole like be creeping up behind them.
I just wanted a text.
energetically.
I just wanted him to text me.
Just
Ooh, I'm crazy as hell.
Well, I'll tell you a better technique that I actually use to connect with people and send them energy. So what I do is I rub my hands together really, really fast until I create friction. And then I open them up and create like a ball, like a gold ball. And then I visualize the person. And then what I do is I ask permission. Can I have access to your head and your heart space? And then I wait and listen. And if they say yes, then I say something, I miss you. I love you. I wish we could talk right now. And then I thank them. And then I close the little ball. But I always ask, can I have permission to access your head and your heart space?
But you can't tell our listeners that because they're going to hear yes every single time.
No.
Because
that's
my
not
crazy
true.
ass would be like, you said yes? Like, no, you said no, shake the ball. I'll be like, this is not working.
And if you really do listen, I've had people say no. And I'd be like, yes.
Who's saying no?
That I use all the time when I'm trying to contact someone or get in touch with someone. I say, can I have permission to have access to your head and your heart space? And sometimes people will say no.
Why would they say no?
Because their energy just is saying no. I can't control that.
The Scorpio in me says otherwise,
Yes,
but
Scorpio's like, how do we work around this?
like, you said no, but I still got something to say.
Right.
Okay.
Does that mean I can come back later?
Yeah, I'd be like, I'll try again in 5 minutes when you're in a better mood. Because right now, clearly, something's up with you. Okay, that makes sense. I like that more than the whispering technique for sure. TikTok is filled with a lot of shit. Okay, there's some good shit and there's some bad shit. But I feel like that's why just manifesting in general, you have all these quote unquote experts who are on there telling people how to manifest and like all these crystals you need, all this sage, all this like Palo Santo and like all these things. What do you actually need, as in like any kind of physical tangibles do you need to manifest?
One thing only, belief. That's it. The power of belief is miraculous. It's done in all areas of our lives, in marketing, in just the regular belief. That's it. If you have belief behind it, you could do anything, especially in this day and age with the access that we have. You just got to make people believe. You have to believe. Once you believe and it is set in stone and you assume like this is it, that's it. That's it. You just waiting for it to align with you and waiting for the world to catch on. That's it.
And you see, belief sounds like it's not expensive, but it is. Even though you don't have to buy it anywhere.
It is.
But like to acquire it takes a lot. It does take a lot.
It takes a whole lot, especially for the non-privileged. It takes a whole lot. And all of the privileges that we have, it takes a lot to believe. to believe, especially when you're waking up in circumstances, relationships, jobs that you hate. How do I find that? You have to. That's the one thing I can tell people. You have to find that one little slither of belief that this is going to get better, or this is going to change, or I'm going to have this, or this will never be the same, or my life's going to do all. If you just need that one tiny droplet of belief, and if you can hold on to that, your life will change. I can say that I'm a testament to that.
Period. I love that. I love that. We asked our listeners what they're manifesting right now.
Ooh.
And, they always, the Relationshit listeners are always coming up with something, okay? There's always something. Let's read some of them. Okay, somebody said that they are manifesting a job in their major.
Oh, I love that.
Someone's manifesting a car because Uber is expensive and not safe. Facts. That does happen sometimes. Someone said that they're manifesting a marriage proposal from their boyfriend of almost 4 years in a few years from now.
I'm good. Girl, move out. Sorry, that's wrong. You need to be packing.
No,
that's what we need to be doing. I'm sorry.
No. Oh my God.
Well, it depends on other factors. I'm sorry. I do not want to burst your bubble. That was wrong. That was mean, and I don't know your relationship. All I'm saying is that make sure it's what you want.
Yes, I think instead of manifesting him to do something, manifest that you get what it is that you want or what it is that you deserve, no matter where it comes from.
Yeah, okay. I mean, 4 years.
Well, she said she only wants it in a few years from now, so maybe they're young.
Okay.
Young love.
Okay. All right. Well, she might not want it then because she's gonna be a different person.
Someone said they're manifesting new episodes of Catfish. That, let me tell you something. I am not the universe, but I can tell you that they are coming to you.
Oh,
they are coming to you.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it on that show. I can't fathom the fuckery that happens. And I would look at your facial expressions alone, but I would be like, bitch, are you crazy?
The therapy bills are expensive. They are expensive. There is a lot that goes on. Someone says they're manifesting bringing their creative visions to life, focusing on what I truly want career-wise. That's a good one. That's a good one. Someone said success, marriage, kids, traveling, abundance of love. I like abundance as could abundance be a good value, or too much abundance could be too much?
Well, it depends on what abundance means to you. Abundance can be a value.
I think about food.
It can be abundance of food. It could be abundance of love. It can mean that you love to be abundant in your surround. That can be a lot of things.
I think I'm going to put that on my list.
Okay. Just do some research on the word.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you laughing at me, Danielle?
Do some research on the word now.
I'm going to do some research and circle back. Someone says they're manifesting true love.
I don't like that.
You can manifest true love. That's allowed?
I mean, what type of true love? She got to be specific. 'Cause my dog is true love.
Okay. You know what? You have a point. Because I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast. I talked about it on Shan Boodram's podcast, Lovers and Friends, shout out, about the list that I created. I made this list of what I originally had named what I want in a man, but I renamed it because I realized that the manifesting was off, and I put what will find me in a man. And something about it, just like the way I reconfigured it, made me feel better about it. I don't know, because it's like what I want in a man. Like, no, what will find me is this. And I made a full list of the qualities that I'm looking for in a person and the qualities that I hope will find me in a person. I'm not going to put, my chips on the table or take them off. I don't play poker, so I don't know what the fuck the terminology is.
Me either.
But I will say that the person who has recently come into my life checks off all of those boxes. So I feel like when you are manifesting true love, you do have to be very specific about what that looks like, and when it finds you, what it will bring into your life, and the things that you need.
Because you could have true love with a crackhead. That's not what you want, right?
Let me tell you something. I have found true love in the bottom of a bottle of wine before. So
that's what I'm saying.
You have to be clear.
We got to be clear on what kind of love this is.
Yes. Someone said financial abundance.
Okay.
Someone said good grades. We love that.
I love that.
Love that. Someone says they're manifesting my time, which I'm assuming means like my time, like when I've arrived.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, that's a good, but pick a time. and what I mean by that, what's the era of yourself that you're trying to manifest? I'm trying to manifest my sexy era, my successful era. You can still be clear, and that's another thing. We're not clear enough with the universe. The universe responds, and I don't know who said this quote, but it always stuck with me. The universe responds to a made-up mind. You don't have what you want most of the time because you're just not clear. And that's why I say when people are confused, ask yourself, do you really want that then? If you're not clear about it. Because clarity will get me there. I'm very specific in my ask of a talent agent who happens to also be a literary agent, right?
Yes.
So,
who lives in California, drives a Tesla, white, like envision it. Be clear.
Right. Because I need the book deal, I need a show, I need a lot of things.
Yes.
But I'm clear about that. So when someone's like, oh, I just, started at CAA and I don't know anything, I'm like, well, maybe you're just not for me. Thank you for believing, but I need a beast. I need somebody who's gonna jump over the table for me.
Yes.
And be like, no, this is what we're doing. So you can still be clear with the universe.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you're being, nitpicky or like, oh, maybe I'm asking for too much. No, ask for what you want or better.
Aycee, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and your honesty and just your truth. Truly, thank you. We appreciate you. Please remind everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at ayceebrown.com, on TikTok and Instagram at Aycee Brown, not the other fake account.
No, not those. If you see me post a fake Aycee Brown account again, don't follow them. Please. If they're offering, what are they offering? Like dollar readings or some shit?
It's like $25. It was so bad. My cousin, he FaceTimed me. He was like, I do need a reading. I was like, seriously?
Like, we're not having a sale.
Right. I said, you really thought I DM'd you and you were talking to the person?
Stop. Labor Day blowout sale, $25 readings.
Had people pay them.
I can't. Only follow the real Aycee Brown, guys.
Yes,
please. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I'm Kamie Crawford, host of the Relationshit podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more videos, click below to subscribe and like this video for more Dear Media content. So shut up and listen.